In the year 350 BC, a boy named Aristotle sat in the classroom of his teacher, Plato, at the Platonic Academy outside of Athens. At the academy, Aristotle learned biology, geography, astronomy, mathematics, and history. Today at St. Louis U High, students learn the same subjects, but the classroom of Aristotle's time looked completely different. In schools today, students are taught through lectures and hands-on activities. At the Platonic Academy, Aristotle and his classmates learn through intellectual reasoning, where students engage in active dialogue, questioning, and debate with their teachers, providing the strongest arguments for opposing viewpoints, to learn by coming to the logical conclusion themselves. Today, Aristotelian debate has gone out of style. It's not often that you'll find a school letting students debate teachers in class. This dilemma has serious implications regarding the modern education system, and begs the question, should SLUH host debates on subjects such as theology, philosophy, and education? Would students benefit? How would SLUH bring in people from the outside? How would the debates be moderated? Could students participate in the debates, or should they only be spectators? How would we at SLUH be able to facilitate productive debates? So, I decided to get student and faculty perspective on the issue. What do the students and teachers of SLUH think of intellectual debate?
So, debates in classical education going back centuries, if not millennia, were foundational to what education really was. And having the debate and then making everybody flip sides and argue from the other side is how you learn how to think and how you learn how to anticipate the best of another's argument to really understand it, right? So you can't fully understand my argument about an issue until you've tried to sit inside of it and see the world from that perspective. And debates can be really nice.
Each other. How do you think SLUH could facilitate productive debates?
I think it could be done if you're bringing in adults to an extent. I feel like maybe getting, I don't know how well politics would do, especially now. Maybe that's something to stray away from, to be honest. But a lot of things like theological, a lot of the stuff you said, like maybe city level stuff. I feel like it could be done well if you had a big audience too, and to film everything. I feel like that's a good way to keep people honest, because if they know everything's on film, they won't be too crazy.
You used to host the student kind of voting day at SLUH.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so when I started here, there was an activity that we did every election cycle called Issues Day, and Father Harrison was one of the original groups, like kind of starters of that. He taught social studies, he taught American history for years here, and it was a really fun event in the fact that the first part of the morning was all focused on issues that were interesting to the electorate at that time, and then we would bring in on SLUH's campus a variety of perspectives on each of those issues. And so that's what Issues Day was about. It was about the morning. You would, as a student, you would pick 2 or 3 issues that you're really interested in, and then we'd create a schedule for you. And so then you would go to various speakers, and the whole point of the speaker was to discuss like the policy, et cetera, the issue, the complexities. And then we'd all have lunch, and then we'd vote, because of course we did a mock election. And then you guys wrote questions. We fielded them after the morning. After learning about the issues, we then had you guys write questions. And then we brought in candidates from both of the political parties, sometimes 3 political parties, depended on what election cycle it was.
In what way do you think students could participate in the debates?
On all kinds of levels. One is, in another version of SLUH, there is a group. It's not One World Club, but it may be Debate Club. It may be a group that people feel motivated to be a part of, where they are actively setting the agenda for the following year, and they maybe hold events or surveys, and then they organize the speakers, they introduce the speakers, maybe they moderate the debates where this is student led, and students are really given a chance to navigate kind of the adult world of how we get into issues. They might be the kind of guys that love mock trial or youth and government already, and this is kind of a special, like, not Stuco, but a thing where these are visible student leaders who are modeling for the rest of us what passion and curiosity and civility look like. So they're not the Republican club or the Democratic club, but they're thinking at a higher level than just a partisan cause. And students could drive this, and we could have, even in the advisories, like they report to various advisories to kind of help the faculty person navigate the conversation, and students may be more, motivated to want to get involved in a conversation led by other students rather than just like, here's a teacher trying to lead the conversation. So I think there's a lot of potential for that. I'll tell you what's the problem is, though. You should ask one more problem, what's the drawback, right? Is one reason why we don't have a lot of debates on issues that maybe people feel like they have skin in the game about. What is the appropriate response to migrants at the border? What is the appropriate response to an unplanned pregnancy? What is that the world outside of our school offers a lot of arguments that are very convincing to millions of people that don't have a place within Catholic social teaching. And so we have to be very creative in finding arenas where there are, without sacrificing our principles, places for us to say, like, well, the problem isn't that these people think all the immigrants should come in. The problem is we're not working hard enough to imagine the creative solutions to the problem. So that's where we can get other arguments, right? Now students, instead of arguing, no, I'm pro-choice or I'm pro-life, which is an argument that never gets solved because they don't even share common premises. So the arguments are always on two planes. Now it's, what are the most effective responses to this challenge, which is we have a lot of people who are facing unplanned pregnancies, and what do we do about the challenge? And now that's a position where the church doesn't have this is the appropriate response. Is it government spending? Is it something else, right? Is it a campaign for personal accountability and responsibility so that I don't put myself in these situations? And
I think it's up to the student if they want to be spectators or participate in debates. However, I believe that one of the things about participating in it, I think it can be good for students to participate in it because, the next step after high school is like, you are now in the adult world. You're either going off to college or you're going to work or something. Most of the time. And I think it's a good kind of beginning stage that leads into kind of that sort of kind of adulthood, kind of like you need to eventually at some point in your life these topics will come back at you or come to you, and I think having the ability to understand that before many, because I feel like most people once they reach adulthood, either they just follow exactly what they've been told or they don't know anything. They're uneducated about the topic. So I think being educated about certain things and being able to have meaningful conversations with people definitely helps.
As we've seen through these diverse perspectives, debates at SLUH pose both positive and negative implications for students and for the mission of the school. While on one hand debates, at their best, can expose students to new ideas, perspectives, and positive models for public speaking, they also pose ethical issues regarding what ideas SLUH can and cannot in good faith sponsor to students in the name of the school, and bringing in guest speakers presents a heavy financial and logistical burden. The real question lies in whether SLUH could facilitate debates that benefit students while, as Dr. Callan said, staying true to our values and working together in pursuit of presenting solutions to complicated challenges. There is also something to be said for Adrian's point, that intellectual debates are only meaningful if students are personally interested and motivated to take something away from them. If SLUH would start a debate series, it would be up to students to take advantage of them. And if we really want debates on campus, we have the responsibility to advocate for this to happen. I think that at the end of the day, Aristotle said it best, and sums up this debate. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it.